Thank you very much, and thank you for that very warm welcome. Thank the Columbus Metropolitan Club. Dr. Shah Hassan, thank you for your kind introduction, and thank you for your hospitality. My friends, I'm very happy to be here with you today. I want to thank all of our volunteer organizations I see represented here. One, Divided We Fail, other civic-minded and dedicated Americans who want to see a better and more committed America, and I thank you for being here this morning. My friends, the hectic but repetitive routine of presidential campaigns often seems to consist entirely of back-and-forth charges between candidates, punctuated by photo ops, debates, and the occasional policy speech, followed by another barrage of accusations and counter-accusations formulated into the sound bites preferred by cable news producers. It's a little hypocritical for candidates or reporters to criticize these deficiencies because they are our creation. Campaigns and the media collaborated as architects of the modern presidential campaign, and we deserve equal blame for the regret we feel from time to time over its less than inspirational features. Voters, however, even in this revolutionary communications age with its 24-hour news cycle, can be forgiven their uncertainty about what the candidates actually hope to achieve if they have the extraordinary privilege of being elected President of the United States. We spend too little time and offer too few specifics on that most important of questions. We make promises, of course, about what kind of policies we would pursue in office. But they're often they're obscured, mischaracterized, and forgotten in the heat and fog of political battle. Next January, the political leadership of the United States will change significantly. It's important that the candidates who seek to lead the country after the Bush administration define their objectives and what they plan to do and what they plan to achieve, not with vague language, but with clarity. So what I want to do today is to take a little time to describe what I would hope to have achieved at the end of my first term as President of the United States. I can't guarantee I will have achieved these things. I'm presumptuous enough to think I would be a good president, but not so much that I believe I can govern by command. Should I forget that, Congress will, of course, hasten to remind me. But the following are conditions that I intend to achieve. And toward that end, I will focus all the powers of the office, every skill and strength I possess, and seize every opportunity to work with members of Congress who put the national interest ahead of partisanship, and any country in the world that shares our hopes for a more peaceful and prosperous world. By January 2013, America has welcomed home most of the servicemen and women who have sacrificed terribly so that America might be secure in her freedom. The Iraq War has been won. Iraq is a functioning democracy, although still suffering from the lingering effects of decades of tyranny and centuries of sectarian tension. Violence still occurs, but it's spasmodic and much reduced. Civil war has been prevented, militias disbanded. The Iraqi security force is professional and competent. Al-Qaeda in Iraq has been defeated. And the government of Iraq is capable of imposing its authority in every province of Iraq and defending the integrity of its borders. The United States maintains a military presence there, but a much smaller one, and it does not play a direct combat role. The threat from a resurgent Taliban in Afghanistan has been greatly reduced, but not eliminated. U.S. and NATO forces remain there to help finish the job and continue operations against the remnants of al-Qaeda. The government of Pakistan has cooperated with the U.S. in successfully adapting the counterinsurgency tactics that work so well in Iraq and Afghanistan to its lawless tribal areas where al-Qaeda fighters are based. The increase in actionable intelligence that the counterinsurgency produced led to the capture or death of Osama bin Laden and his chief lieutenants. There is no longer any place in the world al-Qaeda can consider a safe haven. Increased cooperation between the United States and its allies in the concerted use of military, diplomatic, and economic power and reforms in the intelligence capabilities of the United States has disrupted terrorist networks and exposed plots around the world. There has still has not been a major terrorist attack on the United States since September 11, 2001. The United States and its allies have made great progress in advancing nuclear security. Concerted action by the great democracies of the world has persuaded a reluctant China and Russia to cooperate in pressuring Iran to abandon its nuclear ambitions and North Korea to discontinue its own. The single greatest threat facing the West, the prospect of nuclear materials in the hands of terrorists, has been vastly diminished. The size of the Army and Marine Corps has significantly increased and are now better equipped and trained to defend us. Long overdue reforms to the way we acquire weapons programs, including fixed-price contracts, have created sufficient savings to pay for a larger military. A substantial increase in veterans' educational benefits and improvements in their health care has aided recruitment and retention. The strain on the National Guard and Reserve forces has been relieved. After efforts to pressure the government in Sudan over Darfur failed again in the UN Security Council, the United States, acting in concert with a newly formed League of Democracies, applied stiff diplomatic and economic pressure that caused the government of Sudan to agree to a multinational peacekeeping force, with NATO countries providing logistical and air support to stop the genocide that has made a mockery of the world's repeated declaration that we would never again tolerate such inhumanity. Encouraged by the success the League is now occupied with using the economic power and prestige of its member states and to end other gross abuses of human rights, such as the despicable crime of human trafficking. The United States has experienced several years of robust economic growth, and Americans again have confidence in their economic future. A reduction in the corporate tax rate from the second highest in the world to one on par with our trading partners. The low rate on capital gains, allowing businesses to deduct in a single year investments in equipment and technology. While eliminating tax loopholes and ending corporate